I'm just like a really dry person. I was freaking out when.
So this woman has been trending for the past couple of months because of her podcast, but nobody knows why. Her fourth guest was Drake, then Lil Yachty, and then at fifth, Mark Cuban, which shocked many people and raised questions about how she was able to book all these celebrities in the first place. So let's dive in and discover the mysterious rise of Bobbi Althoff. So it's the year 2020 and the pandemic just hit, which is unfortunate. But for Bobbi, it wasn't really a big deal because she started making family content on TikTok and her videos were mainly about relationships, fashion, trial videos, and motherhood, which often featured her two children. She shared her experiences as well as featuring her children in funny skits and grew a huge audience of around 3 million on TikTok, and finally she was a TikTok influencer. However, it didn't last long and her followers started to make fun of her children. The hate comments really hurt Bobbi, so she decided to address the issue. But when she did, she lost 1,000 of followers. This experience led Bobbi to do something exceptional. Fast forward to 2023 and she started her own podcast called The Really Good Podcast. But she had to pay a high price for this, but made Bobbi entirely change her personality for the internet. Because this wasn't the regular podcast, it had a strange twist to it, which was that the podcast format was designed to be intentionally awkward for both the guest and the host. So she first made a pilot episode and showed it to everyone, but they said it was awful and it won't work. But Bobbi believed in herself and didn't give up on her dream to become a podcast host. Luckily, at first, she interviewed her rich neighbor named Rick Glassman, which got her some views and grabbed the attention of men. But it doesn't stop here. She got to interview Funny Marco, then Amari White, and finally, she hit the jackpot and interviewed Drake. But apart from Drake, the main reason for her virality and engagement was the format. Like, instead of asking boring questions, Bobbi did the opposite and thought out of the box, to which I call the intrusive thoughts box. Like, who would expect to not know someone as famous as Drake? You're right, Bobbi. She uses this to her advantage and shows zero emotions. This is called deadpan comedy. By doing this, she shocks everyone and everyone also seems to find it genuinely funny, and this is how she stands out from the rest. Anyways, her success has been huge because of her unique style of podcasting. But some people believe that she's an industry plant. But Bobbi recently told in an interview,
He saw my video before that with Funny Marco and he liked it and then he followed me. And then when I saw he followed me, I was like, I'm gonna ask. And I asked, and
So you just DM'd him and said, want to be on my podcast?
yeah, I think that's exactly what I said.
also she admitted that her dad used to work at a construction company and he was working at Snoop Dogg's house, which makes me think she might have other connections too. Anyways, whatever the reason, Bobbi's podcast has been a huge success and she has over 4 million followers on TikTok, and there's no one who doesn't know about her. Bobbi's story teaches us that dreams can be accomplished if you ignore the majority and listen to your inner voice.